What?
I hate when you hear yourself smile.
Ow! Hey guys, it's LynVanieuy, and today I'm here with my cousin, Sandra.
Hey.
If you've been on my channel for a long time, you have probably seen Sandra before because she was in like a whole bunch of my first videos. I got rid of some of them. Sorry.
You got rid of like the best ones, to be honest with you. The car vlogs, the life chats with Sandra in the car.
Well, the one I wanted to get rid of was the one with Kyle.
Yeah, and that one needed to go.
Yeah.
But the other one you should have kept. It was so funny. I used to watch it all the time and laugh.
Sandra and I did a whole bunch of like prank videos before and stuff like that, so if you haven't seen them, they're really old and not filmed very well, but you should check them out. I'm going to leave them in the description box below. Basically, Sandra hasn't been on my channel for a very long time because we had a falling out, which maybe we'll discuss in the future. But today we're going to talk about a story time that happened 2 years ago at this time of year. We went to Halloween Haunt at Canada's Wonderland, which is basically like one of those like scare farms that you go to and it's all like mazes and everyone's like dressed up really creepy and you just get like the shit scared out of you.
It's really scary.
Exponentially shit scared out of you if you're Sandra.
Always defecating myself. Literally always.
I had a lot of fun.
I didn't. No, we're gonna do it again tonight.
You wanted to!
I know, I really want to. I'm really excited, but I'm so scared.
Yeah, we're going to another one tonight. This story is important because the ending is pretty insane, the ending to our night. So we went through like a whole bunch of mazes. We were having fun, getting scared shitless, mostly Sandra. One of the last mazes we went into was like definitely the scariest. We had a skeleton key for that one. So it's basically like a special part. Only the people with the skeleton key could like go in this like area. And it was like super intense. And it was like one of the only ones we did, and it was probably like the worst for her. It was pretty bad for me because I can get pretty claustrophobic, but yeah, it was...
But with me, like my anxiety, if I'm in a place where I can't escape or like it's just very small with lots of people, I need to get out of there. I'm gonna have a panic attack, I'm gonna freak out, I'm gonna die. That's honestly how scary it is for me, and that was the whole room.
I'm gonna explain the room. I wouldn't call it a room at all. Basically, they like force you into like this hallway, and this hallway gets like smaller and smaller and smaller and darker and darker and darker, and eventually towards the end you're down to like 4 feet by 4 feet, if that, and it has like streamers in the way, so once you're on the other side of it, it's pitch black. Like
you can't see anything, not even your hand in front of your face, like nothing. All you can feel is the furry walls.
Yeah, it was like Jack the Ripper themed, so they wanted to make you feel like you were in the sewers of London, so they had like wet like sewery noises and like rat squeaks and stuff, and then they had like patches on the wall that were fuzzy, and they had like fuzzy streamers hanging down. Didn't they even have like air shooting at your feet?
Yeah.
So it felt like rats were like running around your feet.
It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Worst. One of the most worst.
The most worst. It was just a horrible experience, and that was like one of the last mazes we went to.
I think it was the last maze. And then I came out of it with marks up and down my arms because this girl latched onto me, and now we're gonna do it all over again.
That's why she wore long sleeves this time.
Yeah, to protect myself. I'm pretty sure I was wearing a jacket, and you just dug yourself through my jacket.
Can't deny that. Nope.
So we ended up leaving the park at least like a half hour before it was gonna close because the park I meant to say park was packed and it turned into the pack.
This is like bullshit. You wanna go to the pack?
I started to say cool, but then I started to say great. Gruel. But yeah, the park was overpacked. It was like full to capacity.
Yeah, I think like after like the main part of this story time, they released, the park like actually released something saying that they were over capacity and that they weren't going to do that again because there's too many people in there and they sold too many tickets and they just didn't have enough room for everybody in there. Picture this. You're walking, it was like, if you've ever been to Canada's Wonderland, it's pretty big and open so that everyone can walk through there, but this night there was no way you can walk, like no room at all. It was just mobs of people. Like that's who I was holding on to so much because I didn't want to lose you.
Aww. lot.
I really didn't, because I was scared that I was gonna get lost and you were gonna get lost, because there was all these people and we just couldn't move. It was crazy busy. So we decided to leave like a half hour early,
so that we could avoid all of the traffic and people in the parking lot. And when we left, first of all, there was like this sort of feeling that like was hanging in the air, and there was kind of like, you could hear people whispering about something that had happened, and you couldn't quite get the gist of it, but you knew that something bad had happened at some point in the park. So we left the park to avoid all the commotion and people and traffic, and when we went out to the parking lot, it was like practically empty. Like, there was like there was maybe
honestly,
20 people around us.
Not a lot of people, considering the fact that like it was almost closing time, and I thought it was...
And it was like super packed on the inside. There was like next to nobody in the parking lot.
Yeah, it was pretty dead.
We get to the car, we kind of hear some like commotion happening, probably like 50 feet away. We get in the car, we like light a smoke, we have the windows down, and we can hear yelling and stuff like that, and we're like, okay, like whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's like 5 frickin' ambulances and like 10 cop cars, and they're like swarming. I think there was like
2 fire trucks too.
Yeah, because when anytime you call 911, at least in Canada, all 3 show up. Yeah, it was mostly ambulances and cop cars, but there was definitely at least 2 fire trucks there. It was crazy. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, there was like cop cars and ambulances and fire trucks, and they were all like 50 feet away from us. And then there was like people running.
So we had the windows rolled down, and everyone was like going to the cop cars and everything with their cell phones out, and this little kid's like running, oh, I'm gonna see a dead body, I'm gonna see a body bag, first time in my life. And me and Lynn are just like, oh my god, like shut the fuck up, nobody died. Like honestly, it's just somebody probably rear-ended somebody, because people don't know how to drive like at all. It's crazy parking lot, it's busy, people are just idiots. What is this commotion about, pretty much? Like, we were being pretty insensitive towards the whole situation.
Well, I mean, you don't think anything of it, really. You just think, oh, people are being fucking idiots, especially at an event that is like that big.
Yeah.
I don't know, they were trying to like direct traffic to like help everybody out, but honestly, like it took us at least 2 hours to get out of the park, and we had no idea what was going on.
And they wouldn't tell us anything either. Like nobody was coming up to the cars like saying, this is what's going on right now, like you need to be patient. Like there was nothing. It was just traffic jam, because now at this time the park is closed, and
yeah, everybody's leaving.
Everybody's leaving. Nobody can move their car. Like, I think we had to put your car in park, I think, or something like that. Like,
yeah, I literally had the car off.
Yeah, you
for like a good, like, at least 40 minutes. I had the car completely off. And we were in lane to, like, leave. It's a fucking parking lot. I don't know. Like, you know, you pull out of a spot, and then you're sitting there, like, about to, like, drive off. We were stuck there for like a good 40 minutes with the car off, just surrounded by other cars.
And people just kept honking and trying to...
shouting and
like just nobody could get through, and nobody knew what was going on. Nobody understood what was going on.
Yeah, and we were even like texting people, calling people like at home, like saying, hey, like, can you like try and find out what's going on at the park? Because like we're stuck here and nothing's happening, nobody's moving, there's cops, there's ambulances, there's fire trucks, like all this commotion, nothing's happening, like we had no idea what was going on.
So that was pretty scary.
Yeah, but we didn't even really, we still, like,
no,
I think the longer we sat there, the more serious it got, because we realized something really bad must be happening to have, like, all the commotion and all the first responders, and, like, nobody knew what was happening, so I think it just progressively got worse the more that we sat there and waited and wasn't sure what was going on, and like nobody at home could tell us what was going on. And keep in mind, we were like an hour and a half to 2 hours away from home, so like it was just us in my car, and we were just like trying to communicate with family like, hey, we're not gonna be home anytime soon, we're stuck all the way in Vaughan, which is like 2 hours away from home, and nobody knew what was going on. Eventually we did get home,
and while we were leaving the park we could see all the crime scene tape, and I think that was probably like when really, like, I think that's when it got really real, when we could see that, and it was just like, oh my god, because there was tape like a fucking football field.
Oh
there
my
was
god,
so much tape, and we're like, oh my god, something horrific must have happened, because there is no way that they would waste this much tape on no event. I mean, it seemed like something really horrific happened, really scary happened, and we had still no idea what happened. We just saw all this tape, and there was like line markers or whatever.
It had flares.
Yeah, it was just like you see it on TV, and then we saw it actually like in real life. Because we
were pretty close to it too.
Yeah, like I never ever witnessed anything like that before, and it was right kind of read in our faces.
Yeah, like it was really close. We ended up leaving. We got onto the highway. I went to change lanes and check my blind spot, and Miss Sandra over here thought I was staring at something. And she just started fucking screaming.
Okay, well, the way it looked, Lynn. Okay, picture this, guys. I have high anxiety. I've been scared all night with poppy up scary men and women dressed in scary costumes.
Yeah, don't be sexist.
And then this crime scene happens, and I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if somebody was breaking into people's cars and chilling there, knives, because that's what I thought.
What the fuck?
I know, that's what I really thought. I thought somebody was in the back seat, and they were going to kill me. Anyways, the feel of the night, that's the way it felt to me, okay? I was scared. You looked over your shoulder and you just kept staring, and I thought...
I literally stared for 2 seconds to check my blind spot.
We get home, we're like, this was a fucking weird-ass, bizarre night.
And it was a long night.
And it was long.
We were exhausted.
We got home at like 3 in the morning, 3:30.
Yeah.
I got a Big Mac.
Big Mac.
I was up all night checking Facebook, any updates, trying to figure out what the fuck was the buffoonery I just experienced, because I did not understand what was going on. Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around. They didn't give me an explanation. You know, I just didn't understand what was happening, what was going on, who was hurt, if anyone got hurt, if there was a bomb threat, if there wasn't a bomb threat, if someone committed suicide, if somebody had a heart attack. I just didn't know, and I really felt like I needed to know.
That was so long-winded.
I'm really sorry.
So anyway, we wake up in the morning and Sandra has an update for everybody. What had happened was 2 people that I don't even think they knew each other got in a fight inside the park, and then
due to line skipping.
So then it escalated and ended up that when they got to the parking lot, they stabbed each other.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of people. Like, it wasn't just this one guy got
No,
stabbed.
it was like 20 people were like attacking each other. Yeah. A bunch of people got stabbed, basically. And keep in mind, this happened like 50 feet from us. So like, it's just crazy to think back on that people were literally attacking each other 50 feet away from us and were getting stabbed, and one person ended up dying and the other person was critically injured. It's just crazy that somebody died 50 feet away from us, basically. But it's just crazy to think about, and I think things like this really helped put things into perspective. Like, they were so young. The one person was 18, and then I think the other person was 21, something like that.
Because I do check up on it every once in a while, by the way.
Well, I was reading about it before you came over.
And they caught the guy that stabbed him.
Yeah, he was charged. I think it puts things in a good perspective, like, to, you know, be careful of what you're doing and like how you act, how you behave, and to like live life and like enjoy your life, because you never know what's gonna happen. Love the people around you.
And be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
And don't cut in lines. Because
don't cut in lines, because you will get cut.
No, I knew that was coming too. I knew it.
Like, it's obviously upsetting and stuff. That's kind of just the way I am, is like I deal with things by like making light and like joking about it, because that's my coping mechanism. So
I think we're just rambling now.
We are just rambling.
You want to say your goodbye? There's gonna be a lot of my faces that you're gonna like want to zoom in on.
But yeah, we just thought it would be a good story time. Well, actually, Sandra came up with the idea about talking about this and making a story time out of it, because it's pretty interesting.
Halloween, and it's close to the time.
Spooky. Yeah, it's like literally just over 2 years ago that this happened, and it's just crazy that like we were there. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, hit subscribe and be my friend. Don't forget, you can follow me on all my social media pages. I link them all down in the description box below for you guys to check out. And until next time, keep shining. Bye, guys.